Hi everyone. In the last video where we talked about this game, Black had just played the move Rook takes a3. A totally shocking blow that completely surprised Pillsbury. Now, e takes f7, Rook takes f7 is what happened in the game, although it does give the Rook extra mobility right away. So there is another possibility that needs to be analyzed. That move is pawn takes rook right away. Queen to b6 check. And I saw some annotations where it actually kind of states that white is fine here. However, I disagree. So first of all, we already analyzed if king a1, bishop takes d4, rook takes d4, queen takes d4, king b1, f takes e6. I would show it on the board, but hopefully you've already seen the last video if you're watching this one. So let's look at the main move. King to c2, rook to c8, king to d2, queen takes d4. Now the king has to move somewhere. King e2 is horrible because of rook c2. And white's going to get checkmated very soon here. The only move is king to e1. And the king looks like it's almost going to get kind of checkmated here, but it's not so simple. So if queen c3, white can play king e2. And by the way, just to note, in the variation where white goes pawn takes f7, rook takes f7, king e2 is no longer possible, and therefore this line would win for black, because rook e7 check. But in this particular variation, king e2 may be a possible move. Rook d2 doesn't work because of bishop g5, and this is pretty strong for black. However, black has a better move. Queen e3 check. Queen to e2 runs into bishop c3, followed by this, followed by checkmate. So the only move is bishop e2. Bishop e3, bishop c3 check is a good move. King f1, pawn takes e6. And when I saw a source of this game annotated, they gave the line queen to h3. Which makes a lot of sense to try to just trade the queens in this position. And the other problem for white, they don't have much to do. They're up a rook, but this rook on h1 is very far from ever entering the game. So queen to h3, rook to f8, check, bishop to f3. And now my question to you, pause your video, figure out what you would do here for black. Okay, so white has a difficult position, but it's not so obvious how white is going to continue the attack here. And the key is we need to improve our pieces slightly. There is one piece in particular that is not doing so much right now, this bishop on c3. And therefore, the best move, we want to get it on this diagonal to attack the f2 square. So the best move is bishop to a5. It's much better than bishop d4 because that would allow rook takes, queen takes, and now black's attack is going away. But after bishop a5, it turns out that white is virtually helpless here to this threat of bishop to b6 and queen f2 mate. For example, if queen to g3, bishop to b6 is strong, and white is just totally tied down. For example, if rook e1, queen d3 check, rook e2, and I believe e5 is very strong here, which is the idea of e4. And white's king is just totally stuck in the middle of the board. If queen takes e5, feel free to pause your video and find the most accurate way forward here for black. And if you said queen d1 check, only move rook e1, rook takes f3, followed by mate, you would be correct. It's just mate in 3. So the key here was to find this very nice maneuver at the end of the variation. Bishop a5 to b6. It just puts unbearable pressure on the white position and leads to a forced win for black. So I really like these type of maneuvering ideas. If you can see these type of ideas quickly, you're you're going to do very well at chess. So that's the end of this video, because in the game, white did not do that. In the game, white took on f7. And we're going to see how that turns out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.